Alright, so in this video I'm going to show you how to use pretty much all the primitive data types and how to use cout to print them to screen and make them useful. So first we're going to do first you got to open up a blank C++ program, and then I'm going to include the IOStream, which again is the library that pretty much implements like cout, cin, all the basic object-oriented stream functions, and then the using namespace std. And then we're going to create a main function. Make sure it returns 0. Okay, so the first data type we're going to work with is the integer data type. So in order to create an integer data type, you do int, and then you give it a name. So say we want to do age. You can just declare it like that and then implement it later, or you can just implement it in the same line by just doing int age equals and then the integer that you want it to equal, so say 19, and that creates a integer data type. And another thing you can do instead is say, let's do int let's do it in a random number. So this is a declaration of an integer data type, and then later on you can do number, which is the name of the variable, the integer variable. Number equals, let's just say 10, and that will implement the variable to have a value of 10. So there is 7 primitive data types in C++, and they consist of short, int, I'll write them down here actually, short, int, long, char, float, double, and that's it for the primitive data types. There's also other data types like string, which is more, it's not a primitive data type, but it's a very useful data type. So I'm going to show you how to use the different data types. Short and long are the same as integer data types, except they have different size values. Double is for decimals, so say we do double decimal equals 1.5. That's how you save decimals, or you can just do double decimal 2, and same thing as the integer, do decimal equals 2.5. Then float is another decimal data type. So float .8. As you can see how I write my variable names, it's pretty common in most coding languages to start with a lowercase for the first letter or word, and then anything following it do uppercase for the first letter in the word. Also, a lot of people will do underscores, so say you do decimal underscore float underscore 2, which is pretty useful too. And the next I'm going to show is char, which is the character data type. So char, you can save single characters. So say we do char character equals, let's say A. You do the single quote with the character inside of it, and then another single quote, and then semicolon. You can do the same thing where you just do char. We'll name it character 2, and then declare it later on. Vector 2, and then we'll do B for this one. I'm going to show you the string variable. So say we do string name equals Thomas. Actually, you have to put the, you can't just do straight up Thomas, you have to do quotes Thomas. And that's how you say a string in a variable. And you can do let's just do last name. Last name equals, and end it off with a semicolon. So these are all the primitive data types, and then the string data type. And in order to print these to the screen, so say you want to use them in like a string. Say we want to say my name is. So that's just writing a regular string. And then if you want to include the variable, you do another two less thans, and then you do the variable name. So say name, and say I want to add the last name too. I can do. You can put a space by doing the quotes, and then a space in between, and then another quote after the two less thans, and then do last name. And this will print, my name is Thomas Watson, which I'm going to do Control F5 to compile and run. Where's the... Oh, I put a semicolon here. There we go. So as you can see, my name is Thomas Watson. I also put a space after the colon here just to separate the name from the colon, which is useful. I can also do on the next line say cout my age is age, and then run that. And this is printing the integer variable age, which I declared as 19. As you can see, it's printing here. If I want to do the decimal, I just do the same thing. Cout my decimal is. We'll run the decimal that I implement or declared up here, and then or not that, the decimal I declared here, and then implemented here. So we're going to run the float decimal. We'll do decimal float 2 and L, and then we're going to compile and run it. And you can see it prints it here, which is 10.2, which I assigned here. You also, with cout, you don't have to do multiple couts. You can just do this instead. Leave the end L and do less than after the end L, and say we want to do my age. My name or my age is age and L. And it does the same thing. This is useful for like if you don't want to fill up your code with a bunch of couts. It's a useful way to do it instead of just spamming a bunch of couts. That's pretty much it for this video. Thank you for watching, and make sure to watch the next video.